And we're looking at the storms moving through mainly north of I-85. A lot of lightning, and we've had reports of ping pong ball sized hail.
And we have Tori social distancing at home. So Tori, you're along Woodruff Road. What are you seeing right now?
Yeah, I'm looking north from my living room window, and I have seen the sky get darker and darker just within the last half an hour. But the funny thing is, towards the west, it's bright. So just as Kendra and Ben have been mentioning, it's all north and northern part of Greenville County at this point.
Yeah, and we continue to monitor those storms as they've held their strength, Tori and Cody. Looking at the hail cores, they're all over. We're looking at a threat for hail all across northern Greenville County and starting to move into portions of northern Spartanburg County. I have a fresh track on the storm pushing much of this into Landrum, Boiling Springs over the next few minutes toward Cowpens. And I'll take that track off and we can take a quick radar tour. Notice we have another core, a hail core that's moving through northwestern Greenville County, and I'll track that one as it's going to be moving over 25 here shortly. These are moving fast, between 50 and 60 miles per hour. So Blue Ridge, you'll have another threat for potential hail with these thunderstorms. But a new area that we're watching is closer to Greenville. It's a hail core. Again, that's what we're not looking at the rain right now. We're looking at actual hail in the thunderstorm. And what we're seeing here, and again, we just got a brand new update and look at that. It actually went down a bit. So that's good around the downtown Greenville area toward Berea. We may be seeing some small hail, but it looks like that hail core hasn't been allowed to build back up a whole lot. But want to give you a look at that severe thunderstorm warning that we have. We have two of them here, one for northern Greenville County and then also for northern Spartanburg County. And this is going to be moving into Cherokee County as these lines hold together. Notice there's heavy rain over Spartanburg City, but we're not under an actual warning yet because we haven't seen the development of any major hail just yet. But again, we're going to be watching that as it moves through northern Spartanburg County and toward Cherokee County. City of Spartanburg will let you know if we do end up seeing that threat for hail, damaging wind increase. And if so, likely a severe thunderstorm warning would come out for that. We've been watching you around Pickens and Dacusville very closely too, just getting pounded with heavy rainfall and also the threat for hail. A hail core right now is finally moving off to the east of Pickens, and that's going to be transitioning into Greenville County here shortly. So we're looking at Travelers Rest, Paris Mountain being impacted by some of these storms. Severe thunderstorm watch. That's meaning that that severe weather is possible. We're already seeing it in progress right now. And notice south of I-85, you're included in this because there is more activity in North Georgia that will be swinging through a little bit later on. So as we look at the threat levels right now, hail is the greatest threat, but still a close second will be damaging wind, and that's going to develop even more so into the later evening hours. And there is still a low threat of tornadoes, not zero. So we could see a tornado spin up out of these storms as we continue through the evening. I want to pitch it over to meteorologist Ben Dornbach. Just heard a rumble of thunder outside of our station on the east side of Greenville.
That's right, Kendra. This is this storm right here. Lots of lightning. Any given thunderstorm has had a lot of lightning and thunder. So you're probably going to hear these thunderstorms coming when they're miles and miles away, which is nice because it's an additional way to get, the lead time for warning you to get into shelter. But as you can see, that's this storm right here that's marching on the north side of Greenville. You might hear the thunder and see the lightning in Simpsonville, but this storm is likely not going to impact you. That doesn't mean that others won't. But as you can see, it's essentially the northern half of Greenville and Spartanburg counties, lots of lightning and thunder. So hopefully that was enough to urge you to get inside and then stay in there, especially if you're in one of these warned areas, because damaging winds and large hail are going to be possible. We already had a report of ping pong ball size hail in Tigerville, or just outside of Tigerville, around the time this warning was initially issued. So we're starting to get some of our first reports of hail in, and so far it is ping pong ball size hail. It's an inch and a half in diameter, so that's pretty big hail, and it's likely that we could see hail just as, if not bigger. I wouldn't be surprised if we had golf ball size hail. So again, hopefully you have some sort of place that you put your car, like a garage, something like that, or figure out something somewhere to put it, or just know how your car insurance works and make sure that it's covered and things like that. As you can see, looking at velocities here, kind of zoomed out here just to see if there's any concerning areas of rotation that could become tornadic. And right now, I'm not really seeing anything. anything. Notice you might have a little concern for this little guy right here. That is on the backside of this storm, so I would not likely consider that tornadic. And sometimes the data can be a bit sparse, especially when you look north into the mountain as the radar beam runs into those geographic barriers. So sometimes that can limit our scope in terms of tracking the velocity in some of these. So we'll continue to monitor them, and we'll let you know if anything changes. Here's the latest on the hail cores of these storms. The healthiest looking storm definitely looking like this one in eastern Pickens County. So that's a storm you've been watching for the past few minutes, and it's one that we're going to continue to monitor. It's been cycling back and forth, so if it gets any stronger on the next scan, I wouldn't be surprised to see that storm produce some quarter-size hail or bigger. And as you can see, not quite as an impressive core here near downtown Greenville, but some small hail certainly possible with this storm. I would be surprised if this one went severe, but again, these have been strengthening in and out throughout the last few minutes, and we'll continue to monitor their progress here within the next few hours. Good news, though, the threat should be over by around 9 o'clock, and that we look forward to. But in the meantime, there you can see nearing I-26 some of those modest hail cores between Greenville and Spartanburg counties. That'll move east over the interstate, so rough travel between South and North Carolina along 26 during that time. Also a decent hail core right around one of the original spots of this severe thunderstorm warning. New scan just came in. As you can see, this storm right here likely could be,
there is a new severe thunderstorm warning for Pickens County as well as Greenville and Spartanburg from that storm.
Okay, yep, good to know, and not surprising seeing as that hail core has gotten much healthier in the last few minutes. So at least quarter-size hail possible with that. Kendra can fill us in on the details if you would, please.
Yes, we continue with the severe thunderstorm warning, and we have that plotted here on our maps. And we're watching the storm that's basically north of Easley. And I'll take the watches and warnings off. It looks like a big old mess. But when you actually look at the hail core portion of this and take it off, you can kind of see where the strongest parts of these storms are located. We have near Fingerville, and then over here crossing into Greenville County. Those are our two largest cores right now. And we are on standby for the North Carolina governor, Roy Cooper, for the press conference. We'll be pitching over to that and then bringing you updates throughout. But for right now, I wanted to just bring you a quick update on the latest severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued. And you can see the communities, I'll zoom in a little bit closer, that are being impacted by that. And this is going to impact Dacusville, areas just north of Easley, Berea over toward Paris Mountain, Travelers Rest. City of Greenville is included in this, especially the downtown over toward Roper Mountain Science Center, GSP Airport, Greer. So those will be the areas that get impacted by that immediately, or at least in the next few minutes. Then ultimately Spartanburg County could be impacted as well. So take this off and do a fresh storm track on the worst of this, which is this core right here. Hail has been the greatest threat with these storms. And again, that takes it through basically the areas we just talked about. There is a little bit of a timeline for you as the storm will push through. Duncan, you saw some big hail yesterday, and you could get it again today. We're going to hope that this really falls apart quickly as it pushes east, but there will be the potential for the continuance of some hail through Greenville County as well as Spartanburg County.